Long ago, in the heart of the Great Plains of the Zambezi, there lay a prosperous village called Manica. The people of Manica were known for their wisdom, their vibrant festivals, and their deep reverence for the spirits that govern the land and water. Among them was a young woman named Nyasha, whose beauty was whispered about even in distant villages. But it was not just her beauty that made her special. She was kind, intelligent, and possessed a voice so enchanting that even the birds seemed to pause in song to listen to her. Nyasha was deeply in love with Tawanda, a humble fisherman who had little wealth but a heart as vast as the river itself. They had grown up together, and as children, they would sit beneath the great baobab tree near the river bank, whispering dreams of the future. Tawanda had promised Nyasha that once the next harvest was complete, he would present her family with a worthy bride price and make her his wife. There was a river named Zambezi. The elders often warned the villagers to be cautious of this river, especially at night. It was said that spirits dwelled beneath its shimmering waters, spirits who lured the unsuspecting with whispered promises and stole them away forever. But Nyasha, ever skeptical, dismissed the warnings as tales meant to frighten children. After all, the river had given them fish, life, and abundance. How could something so generous be dangerous? One evening, during the full moon festival, the village was alive with music and dancing. The air was thick with the scent of roasting maize and spiced meat. Children ran through the crowds laughing, and the elders told stories around the great bonfire. As laughter filled the night, Nyasha realized her calabash was empty and decided to fetch water from the river. Ignoring her mother's protest, she made her way to the water's edge, humming softly to herself. The silver moon cast an ethereal glow upon the river, making it look like liquid light. As she bent to fill her calabash, a voice, soft as the rustling reeds, whispered her name. She froze. Slowly, she raised her head, her breath catching in her throat. Before her stood a tall figure, his skin shimmering like the river itself, his eyes glowing like twin moons. He was Modzimu, the spirit of the river. "You are the most beautiful creature I have ever seen, Modzimu Mamad. Come with me, and I shall make you queen of the waters. You will never know hunger, sorrow, or pain." Nyasha's heart pounded. "I am promised to another," she whispered. "My heart belongs to Tawanda." Modzimu's expression darkened. "Then I will wait," he said, his voice like the rolling tide. "But know this, if I cannot have you, no man shall." Terrified, Nyasha stumbled back and ran to the village, her calabash forgotten on the riverbank. She told no one of the encounter, fearing they would think she is mad. But from that night onward, an unease settled in her heart. She avoided the river, though it whispered to her every night in her dreams. The next morning, Tawanda went fishing as he did every day. But as the sun set, he did not return. The villagers searched for him, calling his name into the vast expanse of the waters, but all they found was his empty canoe drifting near the reeds. Nyasha wept until her voice broke, but deep inside, she knew. The river spirit had taken him. Days turned into weeks, and grief consumed Nyasha. She no longer sang, no longer smiled. The village mourned alongside her, but nothing could ease the weight upon her soul. One afternoon, an elder woman from a distant village arrived, her face etched with deep lines of wisdom. She claimed to know of Modzimu, for her own daughter had been taken by him many years before. "The river spirit is bound by love and loss," she said. "If a heart is broken in grief, he will never let it heal. But there is a way to call back the lost. The elder instructed Nyasha to make an offering at the river, a necklace woven from strands of her own hair and adorned with a stone from Tawanda's fishing net. If her love was pure, the river might reveal the truth of Tawanda's fate. That night, under the full moon, Nyasha walked barefoot to the river's edge. The water shimmered in the moonlight, calling to her like a lover's whisper. She knew what she had to do. "Modzimu," she cried, her voice raw with sorrow. "You have stolen my love. If I cannot have him in life, then take me too. Let me see him once more." The river rippled, and Modzimu emerged, his face filled with a sorrow that mirrored hers. "You would give your life for him?" he asked. "With all my heart," Nyasha whispered. And with one final sixth breath, she stepped forward, allowing the water to pull her under. For a moment, all was silent. The villagers, who had followed in secret, gasped in horror as Nyasha vanished beneath the waves. But then, the river began to glow with an otherworldly light. The waters churned, swirling around her like an embrace. A heartbeat later, the river calmed, and from its depths, Nyasha and Tawanda emerged, alive and holding each other. The curse had been broken. Love had conquered the spirit's wrath. Modzimu, watching from the depths, sighed. "Your love is stronger than the pull of the river," he admitted. "I see now that I have no claim over hearts that are bound so deeply." With that, he lifted his hand, and a great wind rushed over the water. "The curse upon this river is lifted. No more shall it claim the innocent. Go, and live your life in happiness." As a final blessing, Modzimu caused the river to surge one last time, and from its depths, great treasures surfaced, pearls, gold, and rare stones. "This wealth is not for greed," he said, "but for the kindness and love you have shown. Use it wisely." With those words, Modzimu vanished into the depths, never to be seen again. The river, once feared, became a source of life again, its whispers turning into gentle songs carried by the breeze. Nyasha and Tawanda returned to the village, where their love was celebrated with a great feast. Soon after, they were wed beneath the baobab tree, where they had first dreamed of their future together. With their newfound wealth, they ensured that no one in their village ever went hungry again. And so, the legend of the cursed river became a tale of hope and redemption, passed down through generations, not as a warning, but as proof that true love can overcome even the mightiest of spirits, and that kindness is always rewarded. To this day, the river flows with a gentle hum, its waters clear and abundant. And some say, on quiet nights, you can still hear Nyasha's song carried on the breeze, a reminder that love, once true, never fades. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you.